part of what makes you a real man in my eyes is the ability to be supportive, both financially and otherwise. So if you're going to hide that area because you want to figure out if I love you for you and not for what you can provide, then you don't understand women at all. We just don't love a man because he's got a big dick energy. It's imperative for us as women to test our men, because men do that too. They test us every now and then to see what boundaries we can bring down, to see how far that they can go with their excessiveness. What are his motives and intentions? I'm not saying that you do this in a way that prevents you from having good time dating him, but do it in such a way that you are not giving into his whims and caprices too early in the dating period. Much of your activities should be outside of the bedroom more than it is inside of the bedroom. And even if at some point you couldn't control your feelings, you still know when to draw the line in the bedroom until you're certain in your heart that this is a good man and his motives for you are somewhat true and clear. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jane Lawrence and I come with a lot of juicy content. And of course, today we're going to talk about something really important as women. See, if you want a true commitment from the right man for you in 2025, you need this as a woman. You need to sacrifice cheap attention from other men who seem interested in you in the short term. As a woman, I need you to know that you have far more options than even the most attractive man out there. And you need to feel it, you need to believe it, you need to know it. It's true, no matter how bad you feel about yourself. It's not just true because you are, more prettier than any other woman out there, but I think it's true because of evolution. I'm sorry to say that a fertile egg from a healthy woman is worth about $30,000. But how much is a sperm worth, really? Well, it's worth next to nothing compared to an egg. And that's a fact, y'all. Because it's easy to get sperm, but it's not as easy to get a healthy egg out there. You will have to wait, you would have to calculate her days, plus evaluate the healthiness of them all. Now, the reason I even mention that is because I want you to understand something about men, not so much about yourself. Men will do a lot of things just to feel desire, to feel attraction, and to get sex. Honestly, though, they think they're wanting sex, but what they really want to feel is attraction. They want to feel validated. They want to feel needed. But most of them are not consciously aware of it, that that's what they need. They think they need sex, but they need validation. And then when they themselves don't allow the attraction to build up, and then they push for sex early, sometimes they resent the women they date for the lack of attraction. And you would wonder what men really want, because it's kind of frustrating, right? And I have said this before, but I feel like I have to repeat myself to every woman here. Many men are very good at using words to lure women into, casual sex, casual sexual relationships that us women otherwise would not get into. As bad as you would like to think, that is the truth. The truth is that you have the responsibility as a woman to steer your relationship with a man into the direction that you want it to go. I mean, it would be great if we could just sit here and just say that he was a douchebag and moved on with our lives. But that's not true. As women, we have to take a really good look at ourselves and look at all of the ways that we lure men into giving us cheap attention, maybe because we feel lonely. I mean, cheap attention that a woman may want is no more classy than a man getting quick and cheap sex. You have to understand this, because in a woman's body, all the things that we do seem so holy and justified, like we are the victim of men. And it's just not true. We have a responsibility to test a man. So you also fell to this man's trap. He played his game and it worked on you. Now the question is, how can you avoid this situation in the future? And are you wondering why this happened? The question is simple. Number one, it's because you did not test him. And number two, you didn't stop to question all of the affection that he gave you as if you deserved it. The truth is that affection, attention, and gift that we get from men are cheap and manipulative when they are excessive for the stage of the relationship that we are in. And when you know that you didn't really earn all of the attention and affection, then you should think about it. You should question it. In other words, when a man's actions seem excessive, overdone, and suspicious, it's because it's just a strategy he uses to get what he wants. So best believe that. Best believe that. And you could liken that to be love bombing. Listen, love bombing is what it's caught up to be. Love bombing is, a different beast altogether. It's about manipulation. It's about control. It's about deception. It's when someone deliberately showers you with excessive affection and attention, not out of genuine emotion, but to gain power and control over you. It's a calculated tactic to lure you into a false sense of security, only to exploit your vulnerability for their gain. So you need to understand that at the core of love bombing lies manipulation. And you have to be smart to know it. Because the perpetrator uses lavish display of affection to manipulate their target's emotion and actions. By showering you as a victim with attention and compliment, they create a false sense of intimacy and dependency. See, love bombing manifests through statements such as, "Oh, you're the greatest person I have ever met," or you're the most beautiful woman I've ever met. I have never had feelings like this for everyone or for anyone, or I want to marry you. Expressions like that are excessively extravagant, given the short duration of the relationship. When a man starts telling you all of these things, you should be careful to figure out if this guy is love bombing you or not. You have to. A lot of us have been love bombed. And in the process of you being love bombed, you really did not know because you were beclouded with your emotions, your love for this person, until they got what they wanted, and then they decided to leave you high and dry. And then you start to realize that, so all this while that he was saying this cool words to me, he was just love bombing you. And that can really be painful, especially when you really were all out for this guy and you really liked him. It would be really painful, but you have to realize that when someone starts giving you so much attention at the very start, without taking time to know you on a friend level, then you have to figure out what the intentions are, what the ulterior motives are. And if you're in line with the ulterior motive, which most of the time would be sex, then fine. But if you're not, just back the hell off. Just give it space to die off or to continue. So when they start telling you things like, "Oh, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever met. Oh my God, I love the way you look. You're my wife." On first day of meeting you, he's already telling you. I do know that upon meeting you, a guy can tell whether he wants to be with you or not, or whether you're going to be his wife or not. But they don't outrightly tell you. Some of them don't. And this is the reason why you have to test a man when they start to show you all of this attention from the get-go. What are his motives and intentions? I'm not saying that you do this in a way that prevents you from having a good time dating him, but do it in such a way that You are not giving in to his whims and caprices too early in the dating period. Much of your activities should be outside of the bedroom more than it is inside of the bedroom. Do you get what I mean? And even if at some point you couldn't control your feelings, you still know when to draw the line in the bedroom until you're certain in your heart that this is a good man and his motives for you are somewhat true and clear. See, there's some level of consistency in his dealings with you that will make you realize that this guy is in for real. You aren't made to second guess his actions and all of those things that come with a man being genuinely in love with a woman. You're not made to second guess it. You know it because you've seen it. It's there. He's not just saying those words. He's performing those actions. In fact, he's acting more than he's even saying. You can see it in his consistent way of communication with you. And that's why I said earlier on that it's imperative for us as women to test our men, because men do that too. They test us every now and then to see what boundaries we can bring down, to see how far that they can go with their excessiveness, and how much you can handle their nonchalant attitude. Men do this by even ghosting you to see if you will chase them so that they know your level of love that you have for them. They do these things all the time. So some can even pretend to not even want to pay your bills just to see if you would be upset about it or if your love for him is material based or money based. But that's really a stupid way, to test a woman, because every woman needs to know that they are with a man who is capable of being a provider. He's not stingy. The moment you test me that way, you have lost me, because part of what makes you a real man in my eyes is the ability to be supportive, both financially and otherwise. So if you're going to hide that area because you want to figure out if I love you for you and not for what you can provide, then you don't understand women at all. We just don't love a man because he's got a big dick energy. But part of the allure is the ability to play his role so well as a provider. I am not saying that you should buy your way to a woman's heart through money, because at some point from your conversation with her, you will know where her mind's at. You will know if she's a kingmaker or a wife material, or if she is a gold digger, or if she's a good woman and she has her own life going for her. But just know that part of what makes a man really, really attractive is who and what he is. And once you start to double down on your true essence as a real man, even if it's a test, you will lose that woman of interest, especially after you have slept with her. That's the bitter truth. Times have changed. So, ladies, if you want true commitment from the right man, you have to test him. And in my next episode, I will teach you how to test a man in order to know who to settle down for. Okay? Until I come your way, do know that I love you and God loves you best. Mwah.